So what do you think of them having James Gunn do his whole announcement at the beginning of the year?
I feel like it was very odd timing.
Because now we're 3 of the 4 movies in,
and they've all tanked.
Yeah,
they probably should have waited until this coming January.
Right.
Yeah,
why not?
These movies are done.
Like they all come out. Why not just wait a year after you hire him for him to say, "Hey, in a year
or say we're working on it.
Yeah,
we're doing this.
This is what we're working on, and this is going to be the new slate." I don't know why they did that at the beginning of this year.
They could have had them already say like, "Hey, like already like, oh, we're casting for this project, we're casting for," and then have the okay, cool. You know, we've like there have been like castings for these things. Here's the big picture now. So you could have like done like a Superman Legacy. You could have done a.
Or maybe after the Flash, at least.
No, not even. No, like to Anthony's point, it's like leave it there. Like just like let's say like you know how they talk about okay like we cast these people as these 2 actors as Lois Lane and Clark Kent, and so it's like okay cool, we did that, that's fine. Like they get like oh cool, wow, they're doing another Superman movie, that's kind of out of hand.
But he could have announced that
on its own
in January.
Yeah,
like the following January.
They
didn't have to announce that a month or however long ago it was.
Like
it's very
leave it on its own and just have him like doing basically you're saying is just to have him have done everything in the background, and then in January we actually were working on this surprise. We knew these people. Yeah. Problem is the word would have gotten around like oh these people got casted already is a rumor and like they're not confirming it.
I think they may have wanted to do like a big splash at Comic-Con this year. And then show like, hey, we're working on these things, and this is your new Superman and Lois Lane, and there was none of the studios went to Comic-Con this
Nothing,
year.
yeah.
So it might have screwed up a bunch of their plans, but even still, I think they should have just announced, hey, James Gunn going to be the new DC head of DC, and stay tuned for news in the future, and then like be quiet for a year. And then right after Aquaman comes out, hey, this is what we're going to do. It just seemed... Because then now we have all the confusion with Gal Gadot and Wonder Woman. We have the...
Even with this movie.
Weird reasoning as to why Cavill isn't still Superman.
What was that reason again?
I think he just said, he's too old, and he was looking for a younger Superman.
They want a younger
Superman. But like, the guy that they hired looks very much like him.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
He's younger.
He's just a younger Henry Cavill. So it's like, I mean, okay. But yeah, it's strange that they picked the beginning of this year to do that. Like, I don't know. It's like they shot themselves in the foot.
Because
this dude was born, David Cornsweet is born in 93. Mm-hmm. So he's young.
In the 90s.
Yeah, he's born in the 90s. So I'm like, oh, it hurts. My back. I mean, like, we have this talk here. Like, I feel bad having, it's just, you can't talk about Blue Beetle without having to talk about the whole crazy thing that they're doing right now with.
Because how many DC movies came out or are coming out? Was it 4 for this year?
Yeah, 4 for this year. But they announced him, like, right after Black Adam came out. They announced that he's going to be the new boss. Him and Peter Safran.
Well, it was what I'm saying is
October, November of last year, and then he made the announcement right away in January.
Yeah,
and then
when did Black Adam come out again?
Like October.
Okay, it was last year. Okay,
last year.
Man, it's been almost a year. Jeez.
He's like, oh my god.
But what was the first DC movie that came out
this year? Shazam.
That's right, Shazam.
Yeah.
See,
Fury of the Gods.
Shazam 2, then the Flash, and then now Blue Beetle, and then Aquaman.
I feel like that really. I mean, I'm sure the movies were going to suffer regardless because of just the quality.
But maybe not as much.
But not as much, exactly. Like because of the announcements, like people are like, okay, then like we've been saying, fans are gonna just forget about these movies. They might go and watch it just because they want to go and watch them,
mm-hmm.
but they think, okay, what's the point if they're just going to reset everything after this year?
Like, I know that's not the whole reason why, like why they've been flops. But I'm sure it is a part of a reason. There are people that probably think that way. That it's like, oh, it's not connected to anything. Why am I going to watch it?
Yeah,
that's the same mentality.
I mean, you shouldn't go into a movie like that. But I'm certain that there are a lot of people that think that way.
Because that was the same mentality of like the whole of oh man, I was just thinking of like like when Disney was releasing, you know, a lot of stuff only on Disney Plus, and then you have Lightyear coming out in theaters. Like, well, I'll just wait to watch it on Disney Plus because I've been conditioned to do so.
But the counter to that is like, but at the end of the day, all three of these movies have just been okay, at least in my opinion. Yeah. The Batman came out last year, and it was a good movie, and it made like 700 million.
That's a lot.
And it had nothing to do with any of the other DC movies. So
is it gonna be like Elseworlds?
Yeah. He said that he's gonna have
a couple projects.
He's gonna have that Batman Joker.
Continue. It's its separate thing. It's its own.
And the same with the Joker. Joker 2 is its own thing. So it's like it doesn't have to be connected for it to make money. If it's good, people will say it's good, and then they'll make money.
They can probably connect them with like multiverse stuff if they wanted to, but that's if they want to.
But then that'll make them more confusing.
Because then we'll have like 2 Batmen.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Well, we have
and probably
like
a couple of
Batman.
This year.
This year, there's between last year and this year, there's like 3 Batman.
We've had 4 Batman, but 2 of them have been
Affleck in one movie, and then you had
Affleck, technically Clooney.
Yeah.
For that's
10 3, seconds. And then Pattinson. That's 4.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And what's funny is that I'm pretty sure
one in the next couple of years.
In one of these, what do you call it? Like quarterly callings, Zaslav was saying like, "Oh, we don't want to have 4 different Batman running around." It's like, well, you're doing it.
You just did it.
You're actually doing it.
You actually did it. You did the thing you didn't want to do.
Well, because one thing I wanted to mention too is that I think also a big part of the reason why a lot of this hasn't been doing so great is just because ever since the beginning of like the Snyderverse stuff, the movies have been for the most part like mediocre. So people have been not as interested because it's like, oh yeah, the movie's not that great. The next one might not be that great either.
Yeah,
some will go and watch it, but most people are going to think that, and then they're not going to watch it. As with the contrast with Marvel, for those 10 years, it was like banger after banger after banger. People would want to go and watch them, and then each movie makes more and more money.
Well, I don't know from the beginning it feels like that, but
it was a slow start.
I think after Avengers 1, then it was like...
It was with Avengers 1.
I think after Avengers 1, then everyone's like, okay, we're on board, and we're going to like watch every one of these movies.
Even though Iron Man was a great way to start
Right, but people didn't know. Like, Iron Man wasn't a $1 billion movie, but it was a good movie, and so people are like, oh, let's watch this next one.
Well, and even with like some of the DC stuff, like before the, like, say, Man of Steel, where this like DCEU started, you had Green Lantern, and that was like,
yeah, that was also.
Then they like reset it again. You know,
I mean, it had the Nolan trilogy, which had nothing to do with anything.
Yeah, then you also had Superman Returns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like those one-offs.
Yeah, the one-off like Superman Returns.
Yes, with what's his name, Brandon Routh.
But DC has been struggling. People are complaining like, "Oh, why are you rebooting?" It's like
such great
because
characters.
you have 10 years of these movies, and there's probably only been like 4 good ones.
Yeah,
I think
and the other ones have been
made $1 billion.
The other ones have been pretty good to like okay.
Okay, pretty good to okay to like
average.
Average.
It's been a weird roller coaster.
So it's like I really like Man of Steel. I like parts of Batman v Superman. The extended version is much better.
Yes.
I didn't really like the original
Justice
League. The Snyder Cut is much better.
Yeah.
The only one to cross $1 billion is Aquaman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Random.